went
Boom.
bah, 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 bah.
Sick. Man, that would have been a really
There's
good
your
spot
intro.
to kick off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say if I was prepared at all. Welcome to the 2 Decades Too Late podcast, gang. I am Brad hanging out with Josh.
Doll.
Exactly. This is a podcast in which we rate and review an album that is turning 20 years old, mostly metal for whatever it's worth. Josh and I each give a rating of 1 to 5 to 4 different parameters for an individual maximum point total of 20 and a combined maximum point total of 40. What are we getting ourselves into, Josh?
We are staying in Canada for what is most likely the second week in a row. Who knows with the way we do things. But yeah, this
True.
week, not metal, I don't think. I
would agree. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll probably talk more about that. But
Sure.
our Canadian band from Winnipeg, Manitoba, active for 4 years at this point, formed in 2001. And I don't know if I feel like that's exactly right or early or late. I don't know.
I thought they had been around longer than that,
Yeah.
I must admit. Figuring they were playing Hellfest in 03, it just kind of seemed like
Yeah.
they must just hit the ground running. Who knows?
Hit the ground running. They did have a prior release to this album in 2003, and they are still active, seemingly. This week, we are talking about the album Wake the Dead from Comeback Kid.
Hell yeah.
Hell
yeah, dude. Comeback Kid currently apprised of Andrew Neufeld on lead vocals, who was the rhythm guitar player.
He sure was.
Wake the Dead. But we got Jeremy Heibert on lead guitar, and he was also lead guitar on Wake the Dead.
He sure was. Still is.
Yep, still is. Stu Ross is now the rhythm guitar player. Lauren Laguerre on drums and Jace Brenneman on bass. That is the current lineup. But for the album that we are discussing, it's a little different. It's kind of strange.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of bands that we've covered where one was doing something and then doing something entirely different later on.
No.
I don't think.
Probably won't until we get to like Flesh God Apocalypse or something.
Bullshit. That
Yeah.
guy's ridiculous.
Yes,
But on Wake the Dead, on vocals, we've got Scott Wade, his last album with the band.
Yep.
Jerry B. Heibert on lead guitar, again, still in the band. Andrew Neufeld on rhythm guitar and backing vocals, again, now the vocalist. Kevin Call on bass guitar, and Kyle Profeta on drums.
Yeah. Till
Good
2014.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good drummer?
I think he's the perfect drummer for this style of music.
That is a fair statement.
Yeah, because I think he's technically, with the weird flair that he adds here and there, I bet he's capable of a lot more. And
Yeah.
so it seems like he just does exactly what he thinks is right for the song, and I'm here for it.
All music has something to say about that in their review. The whole thing's fantastic. It's pretty short.
Yeah, well, it's a short album. We were sitting
Yeah.
at, 25 minutes and 46 seconds-ish?
Yep.
Yeah, short.
Very
you can get
short.
it, and with 11 songs.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Get in, get out.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, if you haven't heard this, which, man, if you're into hardcore at all, that'd be odd. But outside of that, I guess I'd understand it. But you don't have to take a whole lot of time to give it a shoot.
You
if
really
you
don't.
choose to do so.
And I'll just say, like, this is the amount of time that I want to listen to this.
Fair
if it
enough.
was 14 seconds longer, I would probably be out.
Yeah,
Like
understood.
26 minutes? Are you fucking kidding me? I'll see myself out. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess it must be said that, I mean, I assume if you're gonna have a problem on this album, it's probably with the vocals. I know
Most
that they're
likely.
not really your thing. I personally love them, so
Yeah,
it's
that's fair.
matter of preference, I guess. But I get it if you don't like them. Like
Yeah,
I'm not sitting here like, wait a second.
I did have the realization, like I like Ignite, a band called Ignite, and they've kind of got a similar vocal style. Like, so I don't know what it is about this one necessarily. And oddly, this is our second week in a row of grading vocal styles, both from Canada.
True enough. I will say that Andrew's vocals going forward are not like this, for whatever it's worth. If this isn't your bag, don't give up on Comeback Kid.
That's fair.
Like, especially, I think 2 releases later. I think Broadcast was next, and then the one after that was something that I can't think of the name of. Symptoms and Cures. That album is incredible, and he's a beast on that thing on vocals. So if this isn't your thing, and I'd understand completely, don't totally give up on Comeback Kid. Maybe give a later release. They've only gotten better, in my opinion, with time too.
Super fair.
Yeah, their best maybe album ever made came out in 2022, Heavy Steps. That thing is very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one came out on Nuclear Blast. This one came out on Victory, in rest of world, as Wiki put it. Basically not Canada.
Correct.
It came out on Small Man Records in Canada.
That's very, very funny.
Super
rest
funny.
of world.
Yes.
I mean, it is accurate technically, so I mean, just a strange way to put it. Well, I don't know how much color you want to add to this. I'll just go ahead and say right now, I'm gonna try to do my best. This felt like an album to me before we started that I maybe would have difficulty with being objective.
Oh.
But I'm gonna try. I really am. I'm gonna try. I think this album deserves objectivity for how important it was to kind of an entire scene. Yeah. So I'll do my best.
It is a big deal, especially the title track, Wake the Dead. I mean, even the band acknowledges, like, the song's the biggest moment in every single set that they've ever played, from Asia to South America. Like, everybody know, if you don't even know who Comeback Kid is, like, you probably still know Wake the Dead in some capacity.
Yeah, for sure. And if you want to feel fucking alive for a minute, look up their Furnace Fest set from, I think, 2 years ago, and they play this, and man, I mean, it's bananas. I mean, they take like 10 minutes leading up to the song while every single human being in this place is screaming the chorus essentially before the song even starts. Nice. There's not even music. It's just an entire place screaming at the top of their lungs. That's
pretty cool.
It's sick.
This album was
to that end,
not just in the scene too. I mean, it hit number 16 on the U.S. Heat Seekers, number 27 on the U.S. Independent Albums chart. So, like, they got some recognition for this album.
Yeah, the single did pretty well. The music video was in pretty heavy rotation, even outside of the normal, like, places you'd have to watch, like, quote unquote heavy music. I mean, this was just kind of on Fuse in different areas, not just on, like, the specific metal quote unquote video segments. So, I mean, it had appeal kind of across the board, because it's not
a couple video game soundtracks.
Yeah, it's not like super heavy. Even if you're not into this sort of thing,
it's hardcore punk.
It is. I do think I think on their main wiki, the melodic hardcore label is probably best suited to describe this band, because really a lot of bands
in general, yeah.
Agreed. Because there's a lot of hardcore on here. Obviously, they are, I would say, primarily a hardcore band, but there's a lot of melody.
There is,
like, a lot of melody, and the fact that Stu Ross ended up joining as the rhythm guitar player coming over from Misery Signals strangely makes sense to me, because some of their stuff has a little bit, like the chord progressions and stuff, they've got some Misery Signal vibes going on.
All right, so we're just dancing all around the all music review at this point. I'm going to give you the two highlights.
Awesome.
So, talking about metal versus hardcore, they start to talk about the vocals. It's like, increasingly, it seems like the only thing that separates hardcore from metal, even melodic metal, is the vocals. If the singer is carrying a melody, especially a high-pitched one, it's metal. If he's just yelling, it's hardcore. And then parenthetical, if he sounds like he's belching or channeling Cookie Monster, it's death metal.
Huh. I don't agree with that at all. I actually think that's the worst thing you've ever read from an all music. Yeah, that is not accurate in any way, shape, or form.
But in 2005, you could write that.
You think? I didn't think that in 2005 at all.
No?
No, I don't think this sounds metal. I didn't think it sounded metal then.
No, he's not saying it sounds metal. He's saying the vocalist is just yelling, so it's hardcore.
Right, but it's also not. It's also that the music is hardcore also.
The music is hardcore.
Metal adjacent in any way, shape, or form. So no, I think if you added a death metal vocalist over this album, it would still sound like a hardcore album. And you would just think, why did you get a death metal vocalist on this?
Okay. I was like, now I'm curious what that sounds like.
Yeah, it'd be bad. I think actually it'd be terrible.
Super bad.
So I'm not saying that the vocals don't contribute to the genre. I think that's true in any genre, but yeah, I wouldn't mistake this for a death metal record if you put death metal vocals on it.
That's fair.
So anyway,
they only gave it a 3.5 out of 5 actually, but so they did have some issues with the album. But he's like, the reviewer just says, "But man, those guitars." It's like,
yeah.
They pretty much make it all worthwhile, even when the drums are confusing and the lyrics are annoying.
Wow. I think it must be said that a lot of people had a problem with this corner of hardcore in 05 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like this was like the butt of a lot of jokes, and it was kind of one of those things, if you got it, you understood it, and you were a gatekeeper. And then if you didn't get it, you thought people were listening to a child whining about getting their toy back. So it's like, I'm not going to say that that's super surprising, I guess, but wow, that's very dismissive. Also, what is confusing about the drums? I actually would say they could be more confusing and it would be interesting.
Let's see. The tempos are fast enough that the drummer's backbeats sound like misplaced on beats. Bright lights keep shining. What? Exhibits the worst kind of neo-punk lyrical laziness. Standard issue
Jesus
complaints
Christ.
about some undefined but apparently horrible this.
Wow. Okay. Well, I can't wait to talk about how the lyrics of this album impacted me in a really positive way today. Well, I honestly, they fit into the scope of when you're young and you need someone to tell you things are going to be okay. But frankly, I've had a weird couple of years in my life, and this is the first time I've ever really paid as much attention to the lyrics as I did back then, because I'm not a lyric guy for the most part. I know that's jokey at this point, but like, right. I'm really not. I really don't care for the most part unless I'm focusing in on it for this. But I actually kind of needed to hear these. Not gonna lie. I needed to hear that, man, sometimes you make a mistake and then you're alone and then you have to figure it out. There's a lot of that on this. And it was incredibly relatable to me personally. So, fuck you, all music, and thank you, Comeback Kid, because I actually genuinely this morning had a moment with this album, and I really needed it. So,
great.
Yeah.
That's what it's there for.
Wow. Yeah, true. I mean, I guess there's no way people don't hate a lot of my opinions, but I'm going to go ahead and say that it's weird they ended up on a 3.5 with some of that. Seems like they should have went lower. Almost. Some of that's pretty brutal.
The guitars are extremely redeeming.
They are, but I don't have a single problem with the way the drummer approaches drums on this. I've never found any of it even distracting. I just think it fits the music perfectly well. That's all right. Do you have a problem with the drums on this?
I do not have a problem with the drums on this.
I almost think now if you talk shit about how basic they are, I would get it. I mean, I really would. They're incredibly basic.
Yeah, but they don't not need to be.
Right, and I don't... Okay. Well, all music, you were bound to have one I didn't like, so I guess there we go. Wow.
You are derailed.
I am. I have no idea what to say about that. It's funny because like the drums are almost so simple that I don't even know how... The word confusing seems strangely specific.
It does.
For a drummer who does maybe the least confusing drums I've ever heard in my life. It's almost like how people give Lars from Metallica shit for being too simplistic and landing on a downbeat a lot when it just, but that's just a choice to make. Downbeat's a great song by the Warriors.
It's a great game. That doesn't exist.
Is that a game?
It's the long running Rick and Morty joke game.
Oh, right. Yeah. Good call. Yeah, totally derailed. All right, so track 1 on Wake the Dead, we've got False Idols Fall. I do have a track by track for this. I know we're kind of inconsistent, me specifically, about that. I don't know how, I mean, as much as I love this thing, this is probably my favorite hardcore album ever made. I do recognize that it's a melodic hardcore album.
I can't suss out a whole lot of nuance between the songs to write much of a.
and I can, but only because probably because I've never stopped listening to this for a moment. I don't think I've gone more than a week since 2005 with listening to the song "Wake the Dead." So, and I listen to Comeback. Comeback Kid is probably about 30% of my rotation on a weekly basis.
Solid
that
numbers.
And He Is Legend, make up quite a bulk of what I listen to.
How often do you go with the Earth Groans version of Wake the Dead?
Never.
What?
It's fine, but I don't really.
Right.
It's fine. Yeah. I like Wake the Dead so much. I don't like that. I don't need to hear it any other way. That's fine to do. I mean, it's totally fine. Earth Groans is super rad. But yeah, I heard it and I was like, cool. Now I just need to listen to Wake the Dead by Comeback Kid because it's just got a special place. Track 2, My Other Side, pretty straightforward hardcore. Gets pretty punk in the middle, like real capital P punk, like in the bridge.
I feel like that could be the name of a Scrubs episode too. It probably is.
Almost certainly, yeah. Wake the Dead, track 3. We talked about that. It's basically a perfect hardcore song. I have no notes for that anyway. Track 4, The Trouble I Love.
Longest song on the album, too.
Wake the Dead?
Yeah, by like a
3
mile.
minutes. 3 minutes and 17 seconds puts it almost at a minute longer than anything else. I mean, half of, like 40 seconds, I think, at the least.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And I do think the songs are different enough. Like, they get dark at times, they get tough at times, they do just straight up melodic songs, which really have no capital H hardcore moments in them to begin with. So there's a little bit for everything. If you like hardcore, and if you're not into hardcore, this probably all sounds the same, and I would understand that. Track 4, The Trouble I Love, if I didn't say that already. That's the one that hit me pretty hard, I must say, this morning, as far as the lyrical content. 5, Talk is Cheap, fucking kick someone in the mouth to that song.
Yeah.
Also, the tough vocals on that are the current vocalist, who does not do vocals like that in this band, which is interesting.
That is interesting.
And the fact that this was a side project for Figure 4, not the other way around. Like... So Figure 4 was a hardcore band that the guitar that the now vocalist, I guess I could just fucking call him by his name, Andrew. Yeah, Neufeld. He was the vocalist of Figure 4.
Okay.
And I think Jeremy Hybert was the guitar player of Figure 4. I believe so. Someone else in the band was in Figure 4. And they started a side project, which was The Comeback Kid, which eventually became Comeback Kid.
Which is better.
Figure 4, right. Well, and how many people even know who Figure 4? I mean, they were in the Hellfest DVD with Comeback Kid.
Yeah.
So there's that. They were hardcore shit. Like, tough as nails hardcore. Just kind of strange that those super tough guy vocals on here are that guy, and he does not sound anything like that. So it's kind of interesting. Weird. Partners in Crime, that's another one that kicked me right in my soul this morning. Track 6. Our Distance at track 7. He shouldn't sing.
No.
I must say.
No, he should not.
Yeah. It's not good.
No.
It's not. As much as I like the Posicore. That's what we used to call it, kids. Posicore back in the day. I don't know if that's even a term now. Hence everyone having kind of a problem with it and it being the butt of a lot of jokes. It's like, yeah, hardcore, but all the lyrics are about like loving each other, and everyone had a problem with it for some reason.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah. At least it's not like Bury Your Dead, where it's way more brutally hardcore and way weirder in the emotional sense. Which is strange. And yet no one minded that. We were not consistent in 2005, man. We
all
were not.
The vocals.
Yeah. Bright Lights Keep Shining at track 8. Falling Apart at track 9. That's another one that's just tough. Tough as nails. Track 10, Losing Patience. I love that song, the way it starts out, and then the way that they essentially rip off Refused Summer Holidays and Punk Routine completely and utterly. I wanted to listen to that recently,
actually. That just popped into my head like, you know what? I need to listen to The Shape of Punk to Come.
I cannot tell you how it's at least once a month where I listen to Losing Patience by Comeback Kid, because I have an extensive Comeback Kid playlist that I turn on when I can't think of anything else. And when I'm done listening to Losing Patience, because it goes on every Comeback Kid playlist I've ever made, I then immediately go listen to Summer Holidays versus Punk Rock Routine, because those riffs. Yep. And they do that exact same riff in that song, just with a way cooler build up, because they've got the bass playing it first and then the drums coming in. Super sick. And aptly titled track 11, Final Goodbye. That one also gets pretty tough. But also incredibly melodic. It's actually a perfect culmination of everything they do on the album, in my opinion. So it's a great last track.
And it's well titled.
It is. And I think the overall composition is pretty good with the track listing on this one.
It is.
Not that
it does have nice ebbs and flows to it, however subtle they may be.
Yeah. Yep. Not that it matters when every song's like a minute long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
worth noting, The Shape of Punk to Come came out in 98.
How wild is that?
That is sold your soul for success. Kind of success.
Or the opposite. I watched their documentary recently.
Yeah. It's so good.
And it is very good, but they're bleak people.
Yes.
They're incredibly bleak people. I didn't realize they got in so much trouble in their own country's government and just they were the right band to be in Cyberpunk 2077. It's crazy. They perfectly did technically represent Johnny and all that just in real life in their own country as a band. So it's kind of fucking cool.
I don't think that they had anything to do with blowing up Arasaka Tower, but
they would have if it would have sent the right message to whoever it needed to go to.
That is true.
Man. So yeah, that's wild. Whole other thing. Yeah. Refused are good, but they just broke up a month ago. That's too bad because their most recent album was really great. Yep. I don't think they've ever done anything bad. What a good band. Swedish. Well, those are the Swedish, which I guess is hence the bleakness, I assume. But man, those dudes are something. Idealists are sad. Yeah, I think, which is unfortunate. Anyway, those are the 11 tracks on Wake the Dead by Comeback Kid, having nothing to do with Refused. Nothing, but not specifically anything. I'm sure they were an influence. It would have been weird if they weren't. Refused was everyone's influence. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot more to add in the specific tracks. Josh, I don't know if you had anything you wanted to get to before we shoot the pap. I don't think so. Let's shoot the pap. I think that's the first time we've said shoot or pap on the actual podcast. It might be. Let's cut it. Before we review. Might as well. All right, Josh. We are getting to the review of Wake the Dead by Comeback Kid.
This is a thing we do.
Yep. I can't believe I haven't nerded out more. Well, I'll save it. We're going to talk about it anyway. Josh, what rating would you give the artwork for this album?
I tell you what, the grade I give the artwork is going to be however high you judge my pronunciation of the artist's name. And that is Jeremy Webiscuits.
Webiscuits is exactly how I would say that.
Okay.
I think you fucking nailed it.
All right, then this is a 5.
Best reasoning ever. That's fucking awesome.
No, it's a super cool album cover with the possible exception of how tight the Undertaker / Gravedigger's pants are in his crotch. But I mean, the stylization is super cool. I like that kind of artwork, and that kind of artwork with the kind of blocky, almost I hate to say the word Soviet styling, but it's got that hardcore styling to it that's super cool. The shadowing's all really great. I love the focus of the coffin shape. I love the typeface that they chose for the logo and the album name. And then I like, it's almost like you're the one in the coffin looking up at the gravedigger with the trees in the background. That's your lens for what you're seeing.
Yep. Which I believe the gravedigger is supposed to represent
gravedigger.
Right. I think it's supposed to represent the type of uplift that the album's trying to give you. It's trying to be a positive thing to help you get out of whatever you're in, because it seems like that's what the lyrics are kind of about for the vocalist. So I took it as the gravedigger is literally there to get you up and shake you off, and he's supposed to represent the positivity of the message of the album. That's kind of how I took it, which just makes me like it more. But no notes, 5. If you've seen a Hellboy comic, it's akin to that sort of art style as well, which is really sick.
Let's go with that versus Soviet.
But you're not. But that's accurate also. I mean, so like it or not, that is true. So yeah, 5 for me too, for all of the same reasons. It's just a really, really well done and well laid out album cover.
Yeah,
it's great.
I don't want to go first on production.
Okay, fair. Well, then I will, I suppose.
Sick.
I didn't either. My whole plan was to make you go first. So, I'm going to try really hard not to be like a prisoner of how much I just like this. This is my favorite hardcore album ever made. This is my favorite hardcore band. So, it's kind of what it is. But I could subjectively talk myself into a 5 on this, probably. I still kind of go with a 4, only because I don't think the producer, who I guess worth mentioning, the producer on this album is Bill
Stevenson.
Yeah, the most normal name on the whole thing. Well, Scott Wade's pretty normal too. Yeah. But it doesn't sound like all the decisions or choices on it don't pigeonhole it to a specific time period for me. I feel like the guitar tone is not hardcore really, and not really even metal leaning. It's just a really solid guitar tone.
It is.
That
it
just
is
sounds
guitar tone.
Really good. The bass tone is incredible.
It's so good for what you want.
It's ridiculously good.
Like hardcore and punk, you kind of have to have a certain bass sound.
Yeah.
And this does not do any disservice to that. That bass sounds phenomenal, and it's placed really well because kind of has to be featured.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, they ticked all the boxes on the bass. I mean, it's one of the better bass tones, or at least it's right up there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very, very good. I think if the drummer played more complicated drums, I think the production would stick out in a negative way.
Yeah.
But I think with the way that he kind of plays, that I don't think they did a whole lot to the drums, except it just sounds like they picked a good sounding kit and mixed it in a way to where it wasn't in the way of anything. And that's it. And it's like all the decisions on this, it's like they weren't trying to stick with any sort of fad that was going on in '05 at all. It just sounds like a dude who was like, I'm going to make a good sounding album. I'm not worried about a trend. I'm not worried about having all the high.
Make the individual instruments sound as good as they can, and then bring it together in a harmonious way.
Yeah, and like you, again, I can't overstate this, and I'm not even trying to be funny or anything. If you hate the vocals on this, I understand. I really, really do. Even I make fun of them at times. I mean, you hear me, you know, that whole thing, but like, yeah, outside of...
But that's not the production's fault.
Exactly. So, like, outside of your opinion on the vocals themselves, which, again, I get it. The production on the vocals is also great. They're not too loud. They sit right where I would really want vocals to sit, which is rare for me. Vocals are always ever too quiet or too loud for me and never kind of at a sweet spot. They're pretty much right in the sweet spot here.
Yeah. And so, like, just live enough. Like, there's just enough kind of, I don't know, not reverb at all, but atmosphere to them.
Yeah. And they just got a really good raw energy without it sounding, you know, messy or anything. I will say, I mean...
Why isn't it a 5?
It's just, it shows its age slightly. Like, just slightly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, I think I might have talked myself into a 4 just to try not to give out 5s to everything guy on this one, if I'm being really honest. So I might have overthought myself into a 4, but I think I'm going to land on a 4.
Okay.
Does that help or hurt you at all?
It does sound maybe not 20 years old.
Sure.
But it does. It's starting to sound old. That's all there is.
Sure. I agree.
That helped. I couldn't decide whether it was a 4 or a 5. So
yeah,
I'm gonna land on a 4. It's really well done, and like the instruments are really well produced individually, and then really well mixed into an album. Bill Stevenson also punk drummer himself, and recorded or produced some MXPX, NoFX, A Day to Remember. So he's familiar with the space.
For sure. Well, when you're on that many Black Flag releases, you're pretty fucking legit. I like how he's only just around, you know, Black Flag and the Descendants.
Yes.
The hell are we talking about? I like how I don't even really know who this guy is, but I looked at his thing and I'm like, wow.
He's the only original member of the Descendants still?
I think so. It's like, man, this guy actually impacted the world in a strange way. So, you know, kind of cool that he pulled off the production as well as he did.
Oh, man, he did As I Lay Dying's Awakened.
Wow, really?
Yeah, that album.
That's interesting.
Sounds phenomenal.
It does. I did not see that coming.
Me neither. Yep, only constant member of the Descendants since its inception.
How did they even get this guy? Like, this is a hardcore band side project on their second ever release, and they had only been around for a handful of years, and they got the drummer from the Descendants to produce their record? That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
All right, so did you land on a 4 then?
I did.
Okay, sick. Well, I mean,
holding strong so far.
It's pretty solid.
This is where it's all going to fall apart.
I'll have you go first for impact at the time, so you can just pop my balloon.
Yep, it's gonna be a 1. I hated Comeback Kid at the time. Like, I couldn't even get into Wake the Dead, unfortunately, the song, let alone the album. So Yeah, I never really understood it or bothered to separate them from anything that was going on at the time.
Sure.
So I liked my I liked my more metal vocals, my metal core. So
Sure.
it's just got to be a one.
Yeah, it's fair. I saw it coming.
Yeah.
It blew my mind. Remember when you told me, like, not even probably within the last 5 years that you never liked Snapcase? I don't know why listening to this and thinking about how you were going to respond to this question made me think of you telling me that, because I had been, like, shoving Snapcase down your ears for fucking decades. And
Typecast Modulator was good enough, and it was on, like, Tony Hawk or something skate related.
Yeah.
So
God, I love Snapcase. Yeah, it's just funny. That made me think of this. There's a weird synergy there for me for some reason that I can't explain. Well, I can, because it's without Snapcase, you have no comeback, kid. Well, luckily, though, it's a 5 for me. I got it when it came out. Blew my fucking mind. I learned every single song. I had to teach myself by ear how to do chords that I had never done. All from some plucky hardcore band. This still this still uplifts me today. Like I said earlier, I saw the lyrics. I had them in my 2005 lens where they fit perfectly with, things that you go through at that age.
Yeah.
And somehow today, with how things have been going, this seems to have done it all over again. So it didn't just impact me hugely at the time. It's been impacting me that much for 20 years. So well done on you, boys.
How much did you enjoy listening to it today?
Oh, it was a 5. It's a 5 every time I listen to it. It's great. What about you?
I'm going to give it a 4.
All right.
Yeah.
That makes me happy. I was coming into this thinking, man, those last 2 questions are going to sink this ship like nobody's business.
I came around.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right, fair enough.
There is a lot of melody going on there, and the vocals aren't so tragic 20 years later that, like, I can't at least look past them, if not get on board. And like I said, if it was maybe 14 seconds longer, I'd been like, fuck this album. But luckily it's not. It is sub 26 minutes. I do not have to invest a lot of time. And then, like, the parts that are catchy can catch my ear and we'll be all good. And yeah, maybe the one thing that I'm still waffling on is where the name came from, whether or not I think it's super dumb or whether or not I think it just, like, fits the whole vibe of positivity.
I love it so much. It's like, outside of them being a side project, it's my favorite factoid from the research that we did. You want to go ahead and tell the folks where that came from?
I do. It came from a newspaper headline for Mario Lemieux's return to the NHL, the comeback kid.
Hey, man, they're Canadian. What can you do?
They are Canadian. I mean, he played for Pittsburgh, but
still,
hockey. And the guy beat cancer and then came back to play a professional sport at a very high level. So, yeah. I guess it all fits the vibe.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to your point, maybe a little too much. It is possibly a little too much. But at the same time, yeah. I mean, go look at their merch store right now. Like 75% of it is hockey adjacent.
Can't beat that.
So it's not super weird that hockey impacted even the name of the band.
Listen, you can take the Canadians out of, I don't know. I'll just let that one fall apart.
I don't know, John. Yeah. I don't know any people like that.
I really don't. I do not know Keisha from the block.
I forgot that part. Jesus Christ, I feel like a fucking brick.
Oh. So what we accomplish here today, Brad?
Well, sorry.
I'm Keisha from the block.
I don't know, John. Oh, methinks the Hoff protest a month. Anyway, so Do you remember that from Family Guy?
No.
I can't get into why it's top of mind. I'll tell you after the episode. But anyway, so for Wake the Dead by Comeback Kid, we've got Josh has a 14 out of 20.
Hey.
Dude, I knew the one for Impact at the time.
Yeah.
What can you do? That is what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm really pumped. I mean, I didn't actually expect you to like it as a 4 either, so that's pretty cool. And I wouldn't have, I can't oversell. This is one of those, not just bands, but genres where if you don't like it, I understand. I'm not even trying to force that on people. It's like, it's an acquired taste. There's no way around it. I just happen to have acquired it pretty strongly when I was younger. Anyway, and a 19 from me for a total of 33 out of 40.
That's
well
really
done.
not bad.
No. And honestly, I mean, I think it would be pretty easy to argue maybe the now versus then on the production could be a little lesser than even I'm selling it. And I think there's enough there where a 33 is probably a pretty fair score.
Yeah. Did they re-release the whole album earlier this year or just the song?
Just the song, I think.
Okay.
And so we, as we are wont to do at this point in the episode, we are going to pick our favorite songs. Wake the Dead's going on.
Okay.
I'm not even going to have that conversation. You're getting Wake the Dead on there, so we'll get 3 out of this one.
There you go.
Just because. But we will pick our favorite songs and add them to our TDTL favorite songs playlist. It's the 05 playlist on Spotify. We also have an 04, should you want to check it out. But Josh, what is your favorite song on Wake the Dead?
I'm going to go with Talk is Cheap.
Sick.
Super sick, super catchy. It's got some nice riffs in it, got some nice melody in it, and still got enough of that hardcore talk is cheap-y vibe.
Yep.
I'm shrugging my shoulders a lot for those who can't see.
But you knew, right? Yeah. Everyone out there, you knew. You knew he was shrugging his shoulders.
A Castro hat was forming on my head at the time.
Yep. And a white belt was just coming out of the ether to
hold
up your girl jeans.
My shorts grew cargo pockets.
You're just wearing Asics all of a sudden.
Yep.
Anyway. All right. Well, I'm glad you picked a tough one because I wanted to make sure one of those got on.
Sick.
It was either that or Falling Apart probably. So I'm glad you picked that. I'll pick Losing Patience, actually. I will pick Losing Patience.
Yeah.
I just love that there's that. I don't even know if it's an ode to Refused. It's more like you probably had that stuck in your head and didn't realize how. And so I've done it. So again, this is not shit
I've
talk.
Got this great idea.
Yeah. And then you listen to it later and you're like, oh, that's someone else's idea entirely.
Yep.
Been there, done that. And I don't care about it when I do it. So I'm certainly not going to care when they do. All right, sick. We will be adding Wake the Dead at track 3, Talk is Cheap at track 5, and Losing Patience at track 10 to our playlist. I'm glad we finally got to this one. This is another one this is a big one for me. So I'm glad we got to it. A lot of Canada.
We're gonna have to go like south for the next
south. Oh man.
Yeah, so those are the tracks that are going on the playlist. And with that, actually, you know what? If you aren't into hardcore, if you haven't checked out Comeback Kid, definitely give them a listen. Give this album a listen, and then give some of their newer stuff a listen, because with the new vocalist, they didn't go a different direction, but they changed their sound. They evolved their sound a good bit over the past 2 decades.
They did.
So, yeah, check them out. And with that, he's been Brad, I've been Josh, and we've been 2 decades too late.